I always say this, that President Trump warned New Yorkers not to vote for Mondani. This guy is a liar. And you got to remember, you remember Letitia James, how she was hugged up with Mondani, endorsed him, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, and now they handpicked people and done lost to this socialist. And now it done got worse. Democrats are panicking, and not only that, I don't know who Mondani think he is. So now the Supreme Court ruled that President Trump can end TPS for Haitians in our country and deport them. And then you got Mondani coming out talking about that he's gonna vow to protect them in New York City. It's like, who do Mondani thinks he is? And like I always ask y'all, do y'all feel sorry for New Yorkers? Now, I understand there's always going to be some New Yorkers that say, hey, dog, I didn't vote for Mondani. I didn't vote for him, but it was a lot of people that voted for him. We warned y'all not to do it. We got so much to cover in this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and shout out to everybody showing so much support. And shout out to the ones that always let me know in the comment section that you did stay until the very end of the videos. And the one that always hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Set it to all so you don't miss out on any of my videos. So let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Look at this. It's a breaking this official. The Supreme Court has ruled President Trump can end temporary protected status for Haitians in our country and deport them. This is massive. Send them all home. The people of towns like Springfield, Ohio, will finally get their towns back. So these people start panicking. I want y'all to remember when President Trump said this the other day. He said Trump reveals he's been waiting his whole life to take on the communist uprising. Look what President Trump posted. He said the communists are finally making their move. I've been waiting and preparing for this for a long time. It's easy to be a communist. All you have to do is say, I give you everything, but that means you're taking it away from others that have earned it. Over thousands of years, that ideology has not worked once. The game is on. Enjoy watching President Donald J. Trump. Now, even Benny Johnson posted this. He said NYC Mayor Mondani just announced he will refuse to comply with the United Supreme Court ruling to deport 350,000 Haitians. This communist should not be able to defy the federal government without consequences. Haitians were granted temporary protected status 15 years ago. It's time for them to go back. America has the right to decide who should be allowed to be in the country. Now, I want y'all to check out this video right here. Say, breaking Mondani vows to protect illegal alien Haitians and Syrians following SCOTUS ruling. Y'all check this out.
We saw today the Supreme Court make a decision that is putting so many people's lives in jeopardy. And I just came back from a rally with 1199 as I stood alongside a number of Haitian New Yorkers who are concerned about what this means for their status in our city. And frankly, this city, the one that we love, is one that has been built by so many from so many different parts of the world. And that includes our Haitian brothers and sisters, our Syrian brothers and sisters. And we stand here ready to be in solidarity with all of those who are concerned by today's decision. And beyond just language of solidarity, actions of solidarity. Now, what that means when it comes to our city is if you are worried about what this means for your status, if you're worried about what this means for your family, I would encourage you to call our Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs hotline. And you can do so at 1-800-354-0365. Again, that's 1-800-354-0365. Now, many of you know this is a city of 8.5 million people. More than 3 million of us were born elsewhere. I'm one of them. We're a city that's proud of our immigrant heritage. And when we think about, especially what Haitian New Yorkers have had to deal with, not just for weeks or months or years, but frankly for decades, we have seen a cruelty that has become normalized. And to have people who frankly taught the world about freedom have their own freedom be put in jeopardy by the actions of a Supreme Court and a federal administration, it is not only cruel, it's something that we will not ever accept. And so we stand here as New Yorkers proud of standing in solidarity and proud to do everything that we can to keep people in their homes and to keep people together.
So you hear this clown
we saw
right
today
here that pretty much is trying his best to protect the illegal alien Haitians and Syrians. This is what he's trying to do. So he's trying to say, forget what the Supreme Court, something has to be done about this. I don't know who Mondani thinks he is, that what he say gonna overrule the Supreme Court. It's not happening. And that's the reason why he's panicking. It's like, no, we ain't finna go for that. Now, a lot of stuff is getting crazy now. I want to show y'all this because this guy right here said that he voted for President Trump 3 times and he feel like President Trump needs to go after Mondani. This is what he wrote. He said Trump needs to go after Mondani and stop Islam from growing in the U.S. Instead, this guy said he feel like President Trump is empowering them. We're losing the U.S. brick by brick to a radical movement that wants Christianity, freedom, and our Constitution destroyed, replacing it with Sharia and Allah. We didn't vote for this. So, I mean, with some of this stuff this guy is saying, I'm not, agreeing with, but this is how he's saying he feel. Like I said, he's saying he voted for President Trump 3 times. So y'all let me know in the comment section, do y'all agree or disagree with what this guy is about to say? Let me know.
The Muslim mayor who's destroying New York has absolutely zero fear of Donald J. Trump. Yesterday, the Supreme Court came up with a decision that the Haitians could not be long-term protected under the TPS ruling. Immediately, Mamdani goes and makes an announcement telling Haitians that he's going to protect them.
Especially what Haitian New Yorkers have had to deal with, not just for weeks or months or years, but frankly for decades. And to have people who frankly taught the world about freedom have their own freedom be put in jeopardy by the actions of a Supreme Court and a federal administration, it is not only cruel, it's something that we will not ever accept.
This guy thinks he's dealing in Sharia law. Now, what's making this worse, he's getting on television from the White House and telling people that Mamdani is such a handsome, great guy.
And Darby was here, as you know, twice. And he's a very nice guy. He's a charming guy, good-looking guy.
And he's not a nice guy, and he's not charming. He's a scumbag jihadist who is turning our greatest, biggest city, a major hub for all financial aspects of this country, into an absolute shithole.
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help. I think this mayor can do some things that are going to be really great.
And for those of you people who are saying, oh, you know what, this is 3D chess, my ass. We're losing the city, we're losing the country chip by chip. I don't see how the 3D turns into a 4D victory. What I see is a straight path to destruction.
I love the Muslims. I think they're great people.
Why would you even say that? These people are antithetical to everything that America stands on.
As we celebrate the Islamic holy month of Ramadan, it's a great month. A lot of friends, a lot of great friends.
And for those of you who are going to go down he's keeping his enemies closer, my ass, his enemies, if it's Mamdani, and I don't think it is, Mamdani is just taking brick by brick out of the foundation of not only our greatest, biggest city.
See, we know for a fact that President Trump, here's the thing here. President Trump knows exactly what he's doing. Of course, when, somebody come to the White House that President Trump has a problem with, we didn't see him plenty of time that he'll try to be nice to him. As long as you being nice to him, he just ain't gonna just be rude to you. So like with Mondani coming, Mondani was smiling, he was laughing. So President Trump just said, okay, well, I'm not going to act like I'm the bully here. Let me laugh and let me smile and let me say this about him and stuff like that. We know how President Trump, like I said, really feel about scams. We already know that. But, of course, if Mondani came in on his best behavior, President Trump wasn't just going to start screaming at him and stuff like that. Because we know exactly how President Trump feels. It's like, he does it all the time.
But the United States of America, because now he is becoming the poster child for how to win elections and how to change what was once great into absolute Mecca hell. The President of the United States, with all due respect, sir, I voted for you 3 times. You are failing epically.
I disagree with that. President Trump is not failing epically. That's a lie. He's not failing. Now, it's kind of weird to me. Somebody said that they voted for him 3 times, then you turn around and say he's failing. All the great things President Trump did so far, and then like when something happened, all of a sudden now he's failing. I don't agree with that at all. President Trump is not failing. President Trump, and the thing about it, President Trump warned New Yorkers not to vote for this guy. He warned New Yorkers, don't vote for Mondani. I've said it, other people said it, President Trump said it. He said it from the get-go. He already knew what was going to happen if Mondani got in there. That's why he was telling people not to vote for him. So I don't agree with the fact that President Trump failed. I do not agree with that at all. So I want y'all to check this out right here by Stephen A. Smith on Zoran Scamdani. He pretty much talking about, hey, if the Democrat Party become him, you have no chance on national basis in terms of the presidency and Senate seats in the House. You have no chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very, very clear. If the Democratic Party becomes the likes of Zoran Mamdani, who, by the way, I like. I'm not trying to throw any shade on him or anything like that, but if the Democratic Party becomes him, you have no chance. You have no chance. On a national basis in terms of the presidency. In Senate seats in the House, you have no chance. You have no chance. I want to be very, very clear about that. You might have a Democratic socialist sprinkled here and there, but that ain't what America is. America's about capitalism. America's about dollars and cents. America's about an economy, a flourishing economy. Okay? And you know what it's not about? Free stuff. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it. Ladies,
That's exactly right. It ain't about free stuff. So now you see a lot of the Democrats, they are out here panicking. Not only that, Hakeem Jeffrey, you got Letitia James. Remember, she was the one who was supporting him and stuff like that. Look at this. Mamdani just sent 4 socialists to the general election for Congress and New York Senate. Look at this. One wiped her hand on the American flag, and then you had another one that said that 9/11 was America's fault. It said, this is today's Democrat Party. I hope you can see it for what it is. Look at these 4 candidates right here. That old Mamdani pretty much, endorsed. And they won. And it's a Democrats just nominated a woman for Congress named Daraliza Avila Chevalier. It says she openly hates America. She said in a social media post, I forgot to get napkins, so I just wiped my hand on the American flag behind him. This is what this woman said. So it seemed like the Democrat Party couldn't ready to be, swapped out for these socialists. And that's the reason why you got Letitia James and all these Democrats saying, oh, we cannot allow this. But now y'all was all hugging Mamdani. Y'all was bigging him up. But everybody was saying, don't vote for this guy. Because we know for a fact he was a liar and a failure. We know that. She calls America a effing disgrace. She will be headed to Congress. She makes AOC look like a moderate. She defeated the incumbent chair of House Hispanic Caucus in Congress. Chevalier is an unemployed 32-year-old who was recently rioting on behalf of Hamas terrorist organization with pro-Hamas activist Muhammad Khalil in the Columbia University encampment on the campus. She is the founder of Columbia University Apartheid Davis, whose stated goal is the eradication of Western civilization. This is insane, y'all. Here go the woman right here.
I know that we all deserve a representative who isn't bought by AIPAC. I'm also the only Muslim in my family. I reverted 3 years ago. Actually, the friend who pushed me to do it asked me, why have you fasted for 4 years and yet you haven't taken your shahada? She's here today, and when she asked me that, I thought, that is a great question. And I thought for myself why I hadn't taken the step yet. But it was seeing how all of my friends who were showing up to organizing, who are Muslim, were showing up in the space, and the grace and love and passion that they had in these spaces of social justice, that really pushed me to join the faith. And wanting to make sure that we are reflecting that, I'm reflecting that in every space that I'm in, and that, inshallah, we make it to Congress, that we're reflecting that in the halls of power as well.
So, old Mamdani. It's a President Trump delivers a pointed reminder that socialism and communism has never ever worked and is not going to work this time.
Great night for Democratic Socialist candidates last night. In the New York primaries, they swept and knocked out 2 incumbents. You're from New York. Why do you think it is that now the endorsement of Zoran Mamdani means more than the endorsement of Hakeem Jeffries?
Well, they're going radical left. They're going, and really, you talk about the Democrat socialists, it's really communist. These people, I watched that woman last night. That's not a socialist. I know socialists. That woman is a communist. And what they don't say is that I was 16-0 last night. But mine were a little more boring, a little more mainstream. They were Republican conservatives, but we were 16-0. And if you look over the last 2.5 years, we're about 347 and just about 0. That's pretty good. But nobody writes that. But he picked 3. They won. They beat a guy named Dan Goldman, who's, a loser. He was one of my prosecutors, one of my many prosecutors that they used on me. Dan Goldman, not a good prosecutor, fortunately, but he's now looking for a job. I was very surprised to see, because he's a pretty liberal guy. when they go more liberal than Dan Goldman, they're really into Never Never Land.
Does this tell you that the Democratic Party's 2028 nominee will likely be, or could likely be, a Democratic socialist?
Well, it should make it easier for Republicans because most of the nation is composed of sane people. They don't want to, if you look throughout history, go back thousands of years, you've always had socialism and communism by different names. It's never ever worked. It's not going to work this time.
And President Trump said that it's not going to work this time. And this one we're talking about, like, President Trump been saying this from the get-go, no matter what he said when Mondani came to the White House. Because then if he'd have been, like, yelling at him or whatever, then everybody like, oh, look at Donald Trump bullying him. We know how President Trump feel about Mondani. He know Mondani is a liar. He knew what Mondani was going to do, the reason why he called it out in the first place, when he was telling New Yorkers not to vote for him. So now look at this. Democrats in a full civil war mode, eating their own alive. So now you got Letitia James making a post about it. She don't agree. Look at this. NYG Attorney General blames Mondani for blowing up the Democrat Party.
Some of the candidates that he has supported, Mondani, are individuals who do not understand the politics of New York City, the cultural differences from district to district, who have not been part of the history and the struggle. All of us are a little frustrated with the Democratic Party, but you don't blow it up. I have news for you. They just did. And you did nothing about it. Neither did Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi. You could spin it whatever you want. I think...
You already said. I want y'all to listen to the last part. Letitia James is doing this. She made this post, and now she said, who have not been part of the history and the struggle. All of us are a little frustrated with the Democratic Party, but you don't blow it up. And what he said, Mondani just did. Just blew it up.
But you don't blow it up. I have news for you. They just did. And you did nothing about it. Neither did Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi. You could spin it whatever you want.
None of them did anything about it. Look at this. Now Mondani decided he was going to push back against Letitia James' criticism of his endorsed candidates' victories, arguing that the Democratic voters, not party insiders, are driving the party's direction. He defended backing working class candidates.
And if we were to continue, in doing this, you clearly ticked off a bunch of people. You knew that. I mean, they weren't like shy about saying it, because generally the way it goes is you don't endorse against incumbents. Yeah, it really is kind of the unwritten rule in this. Tish James, who was a very vocal backer of yours when you were running for mayor, and even a backer of yours when I think it was pretty politically controversial to be so, had this to say. She said she and other political leaders she's spoken to are disappointed in Zoran Mondani. All of us are a little frustrated with the Democratic Party, but you don't blow it up. That's what MAGA has done. What do you say to that?
That's what MAGA have done. Wow.
I think, what is the Democratic Party if not its voters? And what we saw yesterday evening were Democrats across the city turning out and voting for a new kind of politics. And I've been clear time and time again that I believe the only majority in our country is that of the working class. And what we saw is that a focus on the working class, whether it's from Claire, whether it's from Daria Lisa, whether it's from Brad, is the kind of focus that New Yorkers want to see. And I have a deep amount of respect for my friend Attorney General James, and I also believe that these are the kinds of candidates that we need to see in Congress, as well as the 5 state legislative candidates that I endorsed that also won yesterday evening.
Mondani is going to replace them all. Communist, socialist, this is what he's trying to do. And now you got Tish James and everybody, all of them crying now. Talking about, oh, that's what MAGA do. That ain't what MAGA do. That's not what MAGA do.
If we want to truly fulfill the affordability agenda. And as I'm speaking to you, Chris, it marks 1 year since I won the nomination to become the Democratic nominee for mayor of our city. And I made a promise to New Yorkers that I'd use every tool at my disposal to actually transform the city into one that they could afford. And one of those tools is using your political capital to ensure that the people who will fight hardest for that same agenda are going to be there, whether it's in Albany or whether it's in DC. And I'm so excited to say that in yesterday's 8 different campaigns that we endorsed, we saw 8 different victories for exactly that same message.
So he pretty much standing on there. He don't really care about what Letitia James and Hakeem Jeffries. He want to get his own people in there that think like him, that act like him, that socialists that come. That's what he want in there. He pretty much trying to replace Hakeem Jeffries. That's just what it is. Breaking radical left just took over the Democrats. Mondani and the far left socialists crushed the establishment last night. Big losses for Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi's hand-picked candidates. Think about it. It was Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi's handpicked candidates, and they all lost.
For state assembly, state senate, or Congress is that a year ago, it was not the end of a political movement. It was the beginning. And let's hear it for a politics that will never forget working people. For a politics that is ready to write a new chapter in our party's history.
Notably, there were loud boos when House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries appeared on screen at watch parties for Chevalier and Valdez, giving you an idea of the split within the Democratic Party. Orange, Ainsley, and Ryan.
All right, Maddie, thanks so much.
And I'm going to show y'all that in just a second. When they put Hakeem Jeffries up on the screen at Mondani's little old victory thing, they start booing him and saying, and pretty much telling Hakeem Jeffries, you are next. We are replacing you next. That's what they said. This is crazy.
So this was a win for Mondani, and it was a loss for Nancy Pelosi, and it was a loss for Hakeem Jeffries, who fancies himself speaker should the Democrats get the House.
Endorse some of these candidates.
Yeah, I mean, Hezbolla is actually the chairman of the caucus, the Hispanic caucus. People don't usually challenge that type of Hispanic leader. Whatever you think of liberal Democrats, he's more of a liberal. I don't think he was a socialist, but Hakeem Jeffries backed him. He had an 8-point lead that disappeared as soon as the mayor got involved. And Nancy Pelosi said, Dan Goldman's my man. Vote for Dan Goldman. He lost by double digits. Why? Even though he's anti-Netanyahu's government, he's not anti-Israel. That is part of this. Believe me, you elect a local politician in order to represent you in the House, and yeah, maybe your foreign policy should matter, maybe 10%. These guys are running as if they make foreign policy decisions. They're running on being anti-Israel, and they're winning.
They're running on taxing the rich and abolishing ICE,
and
cut military aid to Israel. Yeah, I mean, what does this say about the Democratic Party when Hakeem Jeffries, who is backing two of the people who lost. He backed Dan Goldman, the guy who tried to get in the coffee shop. They didn't let him in or they don't want him in there because he's Israeli or he's Jewish. And then backed this 5-term incumbent, this Democrat, Hezbolla, is that how you say it, Brian? Hezbolla? He was endorsed by Hakeem Jeffries. So Jeffries is the leader of the Democratic Party, and now he is losing these elections because Mamdani is going out and endorsing these individuals who are so far to the left. It's very scary, Lawrence. It's scary because they're winning. And what does this mean for the rest of the country? What does this mean 5-10 years down the road? Are they going to start winning across the country?
I think they will if we don't change course immediately. The time for laughing to the time for dismissing them, that's over. Mamdani has a playbook. He has the backing. They have a ground game, and they're winning elections because they have tapped into something that seems to be pervasive in this country, whether it is the anti-Jewish sentiment, the anti-Israel sentiment, or it is that there's a lot of grievances with young people and the working class that feel like they can't make it in America. And so now they want to take wealth from other people and redistribute it to other Americans. That's anti-American, but there seems to be an appetite for it. There also seems to be an appetite for Hassan Piker. He's a podcaster. He's American, but he doesn't seem to stand with America on a lot of issues, even with 9/11. Had some sympathy for that. This is what he had to say about the progressive sweep.
They're calling it a sweep. They're calling it the sweep that the Knicks couldn't make. That's what they're saying. That's what I've heard. We were able to go out. We were able to turn out. We were able to knock on doors. And we were able to get voters to realize that a better...
Look at this. Far left streamer Hassan Piker cheers socialist sweep. Oh my God.
Future is possible. That do nothing Democrats that have spent decades upon decades sitting on their comfortable thrones collecting paychecks for corporate donations and foreign lobbies, they better recognize that a new politics is coming to the rest of the country, because every single victory that Americans see gives them confidence that a better future is possible.
So he has 10 million followers, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is, Rush Limbaugh had a lot of power on the right, but he was conservative, pro-American. He was for conservative principles, a traditional Republican with a fantastic communicator. That's what he's a power base on the left.
Democrats
so
are
doomed. You want to appear with him, but there's risks. He says we had 9/11 coming to us. He called for the death of Rick Scott. He is pro-Hamas. He is anti-Israel. He's, for the most part, anti-American, certainly anti-Trump. So the socialism is an economic philosophy, one of which doesn't work, even as Norway, Sweden, Venezuela, Cuba, just make the list. But it's a debate. It's an economics debate. This is so much more than an economics debate. This is fundamentally, we want to, and listen to AOC, she fundamentally wants to change America. All these people want to change America. And even Democrats say we want to pack the court, we want to add 2 states, we want to blow up the filibuster. They want to look at America and blow up the institutions. They don't want to win in the current playing field because they can't. They want to get rid of Electoral College. Hillary Clinton's the latest one. So what don't you want? So if you can't win, change the rules and elect people that seem to despise the country they were born in.
That's exactly what's going on. So I mean, the Democrats are done. Look at Hakeem Jeffries. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffrey was asked by reporters if New York City Mayor Zoran Scamdana has made enemies on Capitol Hill after the mayor endorsed the primary challenges of a pair of sitting Democrat incumbents in House races in New York. So Hakeem Jeffrey noted he lost. Of course, he's going to try to play it off, but they already said behind the scenes, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, Letitia James. Well, at least Letitia James came out and said how mad she was about it, but Hakeem Jeffrey trying to play it off. But it already been news came out that he is furious behind the scenes. So he's just putting on for the camera now.
Enemies on Capitol Hill by endorsing against incumbents right now?
Listen, the mayor and I agreed to strongly disagree about some of his endorsements, and he's got work to do in terms of the conversations that he's going to have with members of Congress moving forward.
What's your relationship with the mayor as it stands?
It's a very good one. We speak regularly.
Do you think Democratic voters want Democrats in Congress to be more progressive?
I think you got to look at the totality of all 215 members of the House Democratic Caucus.
Look at him. He just upset, boy. All his hand-picked people lost. All of them lost. Look at this. Now, when they put Hakeem Jeffries on the billboard, let them start talking. They say, Mondani socialists sweep all 3 NYC primaries. His base chance is you're next at Jeffries. Pretty much saying they coming after him next. Zoran Mondani, back 3 socialist candidates in New York. Congressional primaries overnight, all 3 won. 5-term incumbent Representative Adriano failed to a Mondani-backed challenger. Trump impeachment prosecutor Dan Goldman, personally backed by Hakeem Jeffries, lost his seat. 3 for 3. Jeffries had campaigned personally against every one of those candidates and lost every race. Then at Claire Valdez's victory party, the crowd turned to face him and chanted, "You're next, directly at the House Minority Leader. His public response, we have to agree to strongly disagree. Oh, man. Look at this, y'all.
You're next, you're next, you're next, you're next, you're next.
So they watching Hakeem Jeffrey talking about you're next. This is what's going on. President Trump said he's been waiting on something like this his entire life. So we can tell what President Trump has up his sleeves. It didn't even stop there. Look at this. The Jihadi TV celebrates the Islamic Marxist takeover of New York. Look at this. Even they have it.
Abiy Hawass has won the Democratic primary for the New York State Senate race in Queens. Born and raised in New York to Palestinian parents, Hawass was endorsed by New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani and ran on a platform of democratic socialism. She's called for the defunding of Israel's genocide in Gaza. Her primary win means that Hawass has become the first Palestinian Muslim woman elected in New York State. New York voters also have delivered a major boost to progressive politics. 3 congressional candidates backed by Mamdani won Democratic primaries. Former city controller Brad Langer scored a decisive victory over Congressman Dan Goldman. State lawmaker Claire Valdez won the race to succeed retiring Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez. In the biggest upset of the night, public defender investigator Danaliza Avila Chevalier defeated 5-term Congressman Adriano Espaillat. He also chaired the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Celebrating these victories, Mamdani said old politics have created crises and have not been able to solve them. The clean sweep is seen as a major test of Mamdani's political influence. Observers say it is a sign that progressive and democratic socialist ideas are gaining ground in New York. Many describe the results as an earthquake and a setback for Democratic leadership. Elsewhere, former White House official Kate Conley won a key Democratic primary. Moderate Democrat Ben McAdams secured victory in Utah, and the New York results are expected to reshape Democratic politics in Congress. Experts say it is expected to set up a fierce battle between progressives and centrists.
So y'all see this, even the Jihadi TV is celebrating the takeover of New York. And then you got Hakeem Jeffrey, well, we got to agree to disagree. What? So, I mean, President Trump said he's already prepared. He's already prepared. A socialist civil war is brewing for the Democrat Party. Moderate Dems are warning that they are prepared to fight back if incoming socialists try taking over the party.
Axios, a bunch of centrist House Democrats are, quote, preparing for war if the new slate of far-left members who just won their Democratic primaries ultimately end up joining their ranks in Congress and try to hijack the House floor to extract ideological concessions. 13 House Democratic members and candidates signed on to a Promise to America initiative. They're pledging to stay true to centrist principles, including capitalism over socialism, fiscal discipline, strong borders, and pride in the United States. Among them, current House Reps Tom Suozzi, Adam Gray, Laura Gillen, Don Davis, Kristen McDonald-Rivet, Josh Gottheimer, Maggie Goodlander, Janelle Bynum, Vicente Gonzalez, and Susie Lee. One of these lawmakers told Axios, quote, "There's going to be war," calling the incoming leftist members bomb throwers, not problem solvers.
Oh, it's going to be a war now.
As we said in our pledge, we're for capitalism, not socialism. We're for safety, not lawlessness. We're proud of America, not ashamed of America. And we need to be promoting those things. And, the far left and the far right, they're all very well organized. But those of us that don't support those far left or far right principles need to do a better job organizing and getting our message out.
This comes after candidates endorsed by the Democratic Socialists of America defeated several well-funded incumbents with the help of endorsements from New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Fox's Chad Pergram talked to Congressman John Larson about the fallout.
What did Congress have to do with elections in New York? The voters of New York make up their own mind. We don't control voters of New York. In America, in a free democratic republic, people get to choose their elected representatives. The people of New York have made a decision.
And the result is widely expected to deliver the largest far-left coalition in history after the new candidates join ranks with the current squad members in the House.
I believe in capitalism, so I'm not a socialist. So I don't know whether that's an issue or not.
Look, I think what happens in New York City is sort of just what happens in New York City.
When we have the power, we're not afraid to use it.
The coalition could also pose a problem for House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries if Democrats end up taking a majority in November and Jeffries tries to take the Speaker's gavel.
So, there y'all go right there. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. President Trump warned New Yorkers about scam done. And now look, we'll stay to the very end of the video. I really, really appreciate it. And once again, if you would like to support,
in a major blow to the Chicago public school system, they are facing a budget deficit that could lead to shortening the school year or laying off teachers. This is all happening under the incompetence of the mayor, Brandon Johnson, who has no answers, but he does have high schools where there's only a 3% enrollment rate. We're going to expose it all in today's video.
And as Chicago Public Schools continues to deal with its budget shortfall, significant cuts are on the table.
One possibility, more layoffs. The other is to shorten the school year. At least those are the threats we're starting to hear. WGN's Bryant McCrae is live outside the school board headquarters. Bryant?
Well, yeah, good evening, Ben and Joel. For the first time, a union official confirming they've had meetings where CPS has said that schools could be facing some shorter times come this summer. And by shorter times, they're saying 2 weeks could be cut off of the school year as the district looks to find more money during what some are calling a financial Hail Mary.
So we've talked about crime in Chicago. We talked about illegal immigration in Chicago. We talked about incompetence in Chicago. And now we're talking about how bad the school system really is. It's so bad financially that what you just heard in that clip essentially means, hey, we've got to make schools shorter because we don't have the money. So the question is, where is the money going exactly? What is it being used on? This is why local elections matter. I pray, really, when I talk about these stories in my mind and in my heart, that the people of Chicago one day, not the people who understand what I'm saying and agree with everything I'm saying the people who may not really be involved in the way that they should be. Maybe the people who've been on the fence, maybe the people who bought into the propaganda, that they'll do the hard right and the easy wrong. This is just getting out of hand at this point. And the people who suffer in the end are who? The kids.
We know that from CPS and the city, we've been meeting weekly for months, that they believe they may have to cancel 2 weeks of school this year.
The CTU Vice President Jackson Potter says throughout meetings with the school board, all in an effort to save the district money, there has been talks of a shorter school year. However, that's just one of two options.
2 full weeks of school, or lay off 1,700 additional people.
The Stark Action Plan coming as the district faces yet another financial deficit, this time for $732.5 million, marking the second year in a row for the district's financial shortcomings.
But think about this. One of the core responsibilities of city leadership is making sure children can actually receive an education. Yet under the mayor, Brandon Johnson, Chicago is now debating whether kids should spend less time in the classroom because the finances are in shambles. Repeat that 3 times, just to sit with it for a second. I mean, how can a Democrat truly defend this level of incompetence at this point? Maybe the intentions were good, by the way, because they'll argue that, but the outcomes are starting to turn disastrous.
Last year, CPS cut 1,500 staff from schools, leaving schools dirtier, school lunches colder, and class sizes larger.
Now, Thursday morning, ahead of a school board meeting with signs in hand, union members, parents, and educators gathering outside the Board of Education on West Madison, cementing one message.
No contract, no peace.
The union saying it could be far worse, with sports staff, librarians, reading coaches, and special education teachers all facing financial cuts.
My library position has been closed, and I have been reassigned to teach 5th grade.
This is why there are no good solutions when governing a city like Chicago. There's only trade-offs, and you got to figure out, will the trade-offs lead to the outcomes that will improve the well-being of the residents of Chicago? According to what we've been seeing out of that city, the answer has been no, okay? So every time that the mayor comes out and he says, we're going to do this, look at the trade-off, look at the outcome. 2 years in a row, budget shortfall for the education system. It's no secret the education system in that city is poor. It's no secret that the president of the teachers union is not really concerned with the development of the kids, but more concerned with her activism. We talked about that as well. In fact, the Chicago Public Schools was caught wasting millions of dollars on luxury trips and hotels and massages. Now, where does that start? It starts at the top. It's a culture. It's a paradigm.
Governor Pritzker speaking with reporters, saying he agrees more needs to be done.
I think we need to make sure that our kids are getting every day of education that they deserve and that parents demand. And so, speaking as to which days are on and off, that's not something that I want to opine about.
Okay, so that's what the governor had to say, which we know is just a bunch of bull because the results say otherwise, and I'll prove it to you. Do you know how much money they're actually missing for the education system to operate? Now, I would argue Doge could be very valuable here because I'd like to think there's probably a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Every dollar spent in the Chicago school system is actually being used. According to their records, they are in a deficit of $1 billion. That means they are short by $1 billion. And you know what the governor offered them? $300 million.
Governor Pritzker signing a state budget just 9 days ago, including $350 million in new school funding. But by the state's own math, CPS is nearly $1 billion underfunded, receiving just 73 cents on every dollar.
That is 4,000 minutes that me and my students will never get back.
Now, the board has until August 29th to pass a balanced budget.
So the balanced budget isn't their only worries, by the way, because I have to bring this to your attention as well. A 2025 investigation found that Chicago has dozens of severely under-enrolled schools after losing more than 100,000 students over the past 2 decades. For example, Hirsch High School has a capacity for about 1,000 students, but enrolls roughly 100. Another one here for you. It's called Douglas Academy High School. Built for 1,000 students, only has 27 students. Some public schools are only graduating classes with fewer than 20 students. Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers don't lie here.
The government school system has become more of a jobs program for adults than an education initiative for kids. I just wrote about a school in Chicago. Anybody from Chicago? I don't recommend it, but you can tell me differently. But there's a school there that's 97% empty. It's called Douglas Academy High School. It was built for over 1,000 kids. Guess how many students are there now? 27. Guess how many employees they have? 28. There's more adults in the school than kids. And you'd think they have a basically 1-to-1 student to staff ratio, they'd be doing a good job, right? They're knocking it out of the park. They're spending 90 to 100,000 a kid. This should be great, right? According to the teachers union's logic. No, they have not a single child proficient in math or reading.
And that right there is what breaks my heart. because I can't tell you how many DMs I receive because of my skin color and how they say I'm hateful and I'm a bootlicker and I'm selling out for the white man when I criticize black culture. What do they have to say about stuff like this? We're talking about future leaders of the black community. This is what we're doing to them. We're setting them up for failure. And who's out there willing to take responsibility for it? I know the mayor's not going to do it. I know the blackity folks ain't going to do it. You know why? Because they're focused on the white man, when they should be focusing on taking care of their own community. Isn't that interesting? They're silent. I don't hear BLM on this. I don't hear NAACP on this. I don't even hear black celebrities on this. They only want to say something when it suits their political agenda. But what about the kids? Don't their lives matter? Don't their futures matter? Well, I think any person with a heart would say absolutely, Devori, but to say it and do it are two different things. All right, let's go to our next story. This is continuous fallout from the Supreme Court ruling regarding temporary protected status, that we might actually see over 300,000 Haitians, they're going to have to be returned back to their country. Remember, this entire situation originated from 2010 when they experienced a devastating earthquake, came to America, and ever since then Congress has continued to allow them to stay in this country. Well, the Supreme Court said that's enough, and the Trump administration wants to move forward with it. So what are Democrats screaming about today? Let me show you.
It is an attack on everybody that's not a white South Afrikaner.
They're getting exactly what they want, the whitening of America through the judicial process.
Trump's loyalists in the Supreme Court have joined forces with him to deny immigrants internationally recognized human rights and advance an authoritarian white supremacist agenda here at home.
You heard it, the whitening of America. This is their response to the Supreme Court ruling regarding temporary protected status. Who knew? This would be their ultimate conclusion in their main message. Also included in that message is how hateful people on the right are in regard to their response to this ruling. I call this ruling a win, not because I hate Haitians. I don't have anything against them. Not because I want to have ill will against people. The bottom line is, and I think this is very clear and it's very fair, if you come to this country on a temporary basis, it's temporary. If that's not the case, then what is the point of the program, right? I think that's fair. And if you don't want it to be temporary, Congress, everybody's screaming, they have to change the law. And what I don't hear in the responses is advocating to change the law. Just a lot of complaining like we're kids. All right, let me just show you an example. One of the clips, and this is Mayor Mondani promising that he's going to go out there and protect these Haitians and Syrians who are in the country illegally and who may be a part of this ruling.
We saw today the Supreme Court make a decision that is putting so many people's lives in jeopardy. And I just came back from a rally with 1199 as I stood alongside a number of Haitian New Yorkers who are concerned about what this means for their status in our city. And frankly, this city, the one that we love, is one that has been built by so many from so many different parts of the world. And that includes our Haitian brothers and sisters, our Syrian brothers and sisters. And we stand here ready to be in solidarity with all of those who are concerned by today's decision. And beyond just the language of solidarity, actions of solidarity. Now, what that means when it comes to our city is if you are worried about what this means for your status, if you're worried about what this means for your family, I would encourage you to call our Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs hotline.
And there it is. So they've already implemented a program to not only educate, potentially protect people who are in the country illegally. And it's almost a way to circumvent the actual law, immigration law. One could say that the Democrat Party's platform is not enforcing, encouraging, supporting, believing in the laws of our land regarding immigration. As you guys already know, America only turns 250 once, and to celebrate, Angel Studios is doing something.
And just a quick reminder, if my math holds, you've got thousands of illegals in the country now from Haiti based on an earthquake that happened in 2010, and from Honduras based on a hurricane. It was Hurricane Mitch, which was either 1999 or 1998. That's temporary, 27 years.
Charlie, great to be with you. And, you know, the Babylon Bee summarized this the best today. I don't know if you saw what they put out in saying in controversial 6-3 opinion, Supreme Court rules that the words temporary and forever are not the same. Now,
Exactly.
what is shocking is that 3 Supreme Court justices said somehow that they are the same.
Now, that last point that he made is what really, at least, keeps me very alert in regards to the Supreme Court. We have someone serving on there now that can't even explain to you what a woman is. She refused to explain it. And so when you have someone like that, and I'm not attacking her personally, I'd like to believe she's a great person, funny, even smart. But as far as a Supreme Court justice unable to interpret, which is their entire job, by the way, to interpret, can't even do that in regards to the definition of a woman, I'm not too sure they're going to be able to interpret a lot of things, especially in regards to immigration.
And you just highlighted a statistic that's really important, the 2010 date with respect to Haiti and an earthquake. We are now obviously 16 years beyond that. But also the fact that 65% of the people who come here who are on TPS status are on welfare.
Yeah.
This is the crux of everything, Charlie. This is why the president is correct, why my good friend, and he is a very good friend of mine, Tom Homan, is correct. They are doing the right thing. And all this wailing and gnashing of teeth is a bit much. I think Stephen Miller said it right. Like, look, Haiti, that's good for Haitians, and go, fix your country. When you have earthquake, we're humane. We'll step in and try to help. But it's not a permanent status issue.
And see, this is where the left uses empathy in the wrong way. We all should have empathy, by the way. I don't think empathy is the problem. It's the way it's being used is the problem. When you exercise empathy with no order, no structure, no limits or boundaries, you're asking for chaos. That's exactly what's been happening in regards to our immigration system in this country. And I would argue in regards to sanctuary city policies. And I would argue with the whole trans movement. I mean, no boundaries, no structure. It's just pure chaos. Why? Well, as some people have already coined it, suicidal empathy, but I also like to call it fatal empathy. So let's go to this next clip. This is Megyn Kelly going viral because what she is saying, according to the left, is racist.
Go home. Get out. We know our country's better than yours. That's because we filled it with our work ethic and our culture and our values. You being here only dilutes it for us. Go back to fucking Haiti.
So I wouldn't say that. I don't feel that way about Haitians. I have no problem with Haitians, just like I don't have problem with people who are Muslim. I don't have problem with people who are Mexican or Hispanic or whatever. My problem comes in regards to the law and whether or not it's being enforced. And when you have a program that is titled temporary protected status, then I expect sooner or later that temporary runs out. And so that's really my beat to the matter. Now, of course, because this is her reaction, this is more food for the left to label anybody that's on the right as racist. Let me show you an example.
Tim, your clapback won the internet, won my heart. And I wonder if you think she's just enraptured by the permission structure the Supreme Court gives her to say these racist things, or if this is who she always was, or if she's ignorant to all the contribution. I mean, just wanted you to react to it here.
It's hard to get in her head because some people just want to be nasty, and it's fun to be nasty. It's fun to be mean. We're all human. We all get it. I get a little thrill out of attacking Donald Trump's man boobs, like people like it. There's a dark part of all of us, and so maybe she just has fully given way to her dark soul and is using it to target helpless Haitians.
Now, to be fair, I would probably have somewhat of that attitude towards people who are from Somalia, and the only reason why that is because I understand what the culture is when they come over here. Their culture is to live off government benefits and also to defraud taxpayer dollars. I'm not saying 100% of them, but a good part of that community has essentially gotten away with doing things that way. I think that is clear as day at this point. So I would actually advocate for people like that to go back to where they came from. Now, obviously, if they're an American citizen, they have every right to be in this country. I think that goes without saying. Bottom line here to this entire story here, folks, the Supreme Court ruling, it was the right one. And of course, what you're going to have is these tribal reactions, but don't get caught up in the noise. Don't get caught up in the emotion. Look at the data. Look at the outcomes. Compare the outcomes to the intentions. Look at the trade-offs. You do enough of that, and you're going to see why this ruling was the right one. But you guys let me know if you agree with me, and also tell me what you thought about Chicago.
Some shit happened, the weather was bad. So I was like, okay, let me just ride out to Atlanta. 2 of my best friends stay there. I always got somewhere to stay. Atlanta is always a good time. Let me just go to Atlanta for the weekend. It was supposed to be me and somebody else, but the other person ended up not being able to go for whatever reason, so I went by myself. Now, I have a male best friend and a female best friend that stay in Atlanta. We're going to call the female best friend Ashley. We're going to call the male best friend Brian. Now, I called Ashley and I'm like, hey, I'm coming out there for the weekend. Do you have any other plans or whatever? She's like, no, I don't have no other plans. Just a little backstory. Ashley's in a domestic violence relationship. We're going to call her boyfriend or her situationship. The dude name is Dirty Dan. I don't like Dirty Dan. I don't fuck with Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan has never done anything personally to me, but he's obviously done stuff to my best friend, so I don't like him for that reason, and I don't want to be around him.
Right.
Well, my ex-best friend, because I don't fuck with that bitch no more. Long story short, we didn't have any plans set in stone. We just knew that we wanted to be outside, and we knew that for a fact that we had wanted to go to a strip club. So I'm chopping it up with Brian or whatever. He like, later on, y'all come to Taranga. We gonna get a section. It's gonna be lit. Okay, cool.
We lit.
As we're getting ready to go outside, like getting dressed and stuff, I just noticed that Ashley's on the phone with Dirty Dan, like FaceTiming and stuff. Remind you, I said that they're in a domestic violence relationship. On no day would Dirty Dan be okay with Ashley going outside. So I really just didn't even understand why, like, she was sitting on the phone with him, telling him that we was going outside. Like, I already seen the play. Like, I know somewhere, somehow tonight, we're going to run into him. He's going to make his way to wherever we're at, or we're going to go somewhere and be around him. So I was already, like, I was paying attention, but I was just trying not to let the shit aggravate me. Fast forward, we get to Taranga. Anytime I go to Atlanta, Brian always shows me a good time. He take me to, like, the nice restaurants or whatever. So he got a section at Taranga. We had a bottle. The food was great. The vibes was great. Like, Taranga was lit.
Okay. We lit.
Before the bottle even comes, Ashley said,
shit, I gotta go there, y'all. I gotta go there.
You ready to go to the next club? And I'm like, what do you mean am I ready to go to the next club? No, the bottle haven't even got here yet. Like, why would we leave? She's like, oh, it's gonna be lit at the next spot. I promise you, it's gonna be bottles and liquor and all this stuff at the next spot. But remind you, she's showing me where Dirty Dan is sending her 4-page letters while we're in the club, and he's calling. So she answers the phone and says, wait, no, don't walk in the club till we get there. We finna come, we finna come, we finna come. I wasn't ready to go, but I'm being a team player, because it's like, okay, we club hopping. Maybe we actually will have fun. Let me give it the benefit of the doubt, even though I made it clear that I did not want to be around this man. Like, why the fuck would I want to come out here? I didn't come to Atlanta for this shit. I came out here to enjoy the vibes, enjoy my friends, have a good time. Nobody came out here to be with no woman beater. I don't want to be around no woman beater. I'm sorry if that's what you like to do in your free time. I don't want to be around them, period.
Right.
We wait about like a good 7 minutes for the bottle to come, take a couple shots. I tell Brian, like, hey, I'm gonna catch up with you later. This girl want to be dizzy and follow this nigga. So I guess I'll just see you later. Like, I'm gonna just have her drop me off in my car, because he still has stuff planned out for the night that I wanted to go to. So I was like, I'm gonna just catch up with you. And he was like, damn, like, why y'all gotta leave? But he was just like, okay, because I mean, like, what can he say? The whole time we were in the car, me and her were arguing like hell. Like, I'm just telling her, like, I really did not come out here for this. Like, I do not want to be around him. She just reassured me we gonna have a good time. So I'm telling her, like, why is it so important that we walk in with him? Does he not have a section? Like, we can go at any time. Like, she was really fanned out. Like, we gotta walk in with him. I'm trying to walk in with him. Like, this not the nigga that she fuck with. Like, why you acting like a fan? We get inside the club. Where's the section? I'm standing up. Baby, I don't stand up anywhere. The fuck? They throwing napkins. I'm trying to enjoy the moment, but that shit get old real quick. The club was supposed to close at 3.
Oh, I done been to a club where they be throwing napkins and shit. Like how they like it's like like give you the illusion like you throwing money and shit. That shit was kind of fun though. I ain't gonna lie.
It ended up closing at 4 because the time either went forward or backwards. So something after 3, this was now my 3rd time telling her, like, come on, let's go to the next spot. I'm ready to go. I'm hot. I feel like I'm about to pass out. This bitch looks me dead in my face and say, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not leaving till it's over. I'm not leaving till he leave. Oh shit! Excuse me? So I tell her, okay, well, I'm going outside to sit in the car. I just told you I feel like I'm about to fucking pass out. I'm standing up, napkins is getting stuck to me and shit. Like, where the fuck do they even, like, how and what way is this supposed to be fun?
Got him! Yo, it's just so funny because I said the shit was fun. She like, man, this shit ain't fun, nigga. It's hot. Y'all throwing napkins and shit on me. Fuck that shit.
Like, where the keys? She like, valet got them. So I walk out the club. I go out there. I'm telling valet like, hey, the black Honda, whoop. They're like, we need the valet ticket that we gave you.
Yeah.
She's so dicked out and scared that she gonna get punched on. I'm calling her phone. She got the phone on do not disturb. Cause she can't, the phone can't ring. God forbid the phone ring while she around Dirty Dan. So the phone is going straight to voicemail. I don't even have a way to get in contact or get the valet ticket, and it's raining outside. The dude was cool enough to let me be able to describe like what her keychain looked like, and he was nice enough to walk me over a block in the rain to her car. So I sat in the car and waited on her till 4 o'clock. Not one time did she ever text me and say, did you make it to, knowing that she had the valet ticket, did you make it to the car okay? You good? Like, I'm not from here. The fuck, she didn't give a fuck. She didn't give 2 fucks about nothing. As long as she got to walk in and walk out with that nigga, she didn't give a fuck if I made it to the car or not. Once she come outside to the car, she asked me, can I drive his Dirty Dan's car because he's scared to drive? Are you crazy? Why would you even ask me some stupid ass shit like that, bitch?
I know, right? Shit, she fuck around. She crashed Dirty Dan car. He go reach up from that fucking back seat and start wailing on her. Shit, I ain't trying to drive Dirty Dan car either. Shit, Dirty Dan, a woman beater. Shit, and I'm a woman driving this car. Oh shit, I fuck up tonight. Oh, it's over for me. Shit.
I don't even want to be in the club with him. You really think I'm finna drive this car? I don't give a fuck if he wrecked that motherfucker. Girl, no. Get in the car and let's go. I'm thinking we either going to the house, because I don't even want to go nowhere with you now, or we either going to the next spot. When we get in the car and pull off, we're arguing once again, because I'm telling her, you cannot think for yourself. When I wasn't ready to go, I was a team player, and I left Taranga because you were ready to go. When I tell you I'm ready to go, I'm hot, I feel like I'm about to pass out, you look me dead in my face and you tell me you're not leaving until a nigga leave, that's fucking insane to me. She was like, you just wanted me to get up and follow you. I wasn't about to look stupid in front of this nigga walking out the club. I told her, everything is about this nigga to you. You don't even have the mind capacity to think for yourself. Everything is about this nigga, Dirty Dan, Dirty Dan, Dirty Dan, Dirty Dan, a fucking woman beater. Girl, stand up. The fuck? That shit pissed me off. But as we're arguing, I can see that we're following behind Dirty Dan's car. So I say, where the fuck are we going? She was like, oh, we're about to go to Four Seasons. For those of you who don't know, Four Seasons is like a hood in Atlanta.
Oh shit.
Excuse me? Bitch, take me to my car. She was like, oh no, I'm not about to take you to your car because my house is too far from here. I'm not gonna be here for long. I'm just about to run over here right quick. I'm yelling to the top of my lungs at this point. I'm livid. Like, I really want to punch her head off, but like, this is my best friend. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just trying to get her to understand, like, what you're doing is crazy right now. Like, y'all live in the same city. You could do this shit any other time. Why are you doing this while I'm here?
Yo, this is why it's best to like drive by yourself, boy. We ain't even gotta go through all this. But she is out of town, so she can't drive herself. Cause I was just in Chicago, bro, and I went out to the lounge with my cousin. And fuck around, seeing Pops in there and shit. I was ready to go. After a while, y'all, I'm ready to fucking go. Did I tell y'all about that? I'm ready to fucking go, nigga. Y'all stay up in this bitch a lot, cause I don't drink and shit. So okay, I go in that bitch. You know, they all ain't smoking in that motherfucker, but it's just like after a while, like I'm ready to go. You feel me?
Leaving tomorrow. Bitch, why the fuck? What do I look like? Like, is you cool? We get to Four Seasons. Dirty Dan gets out his car and walks over there like, why y'all arguing? I ain't even say shit to him because woman beater, why are you talking to?
I know, right? If I was her, she's smart. If I was her, I wouldn't say nothing to Dirty Dan ass either. Fuck that. I'm feel her. Shit, you don't even want to be out with Dirty Dan ass. Shit.
Me. Cinnamon Toast Head, talk to her. Don't say nothing to me. I don't like you. So she like, come on. We about to go here. I'm like, I'm not going in. She's like, yes, you is. Come on. We about to go in here full of I was like, I'm not going in here. This bitch cuts the car off and was like, well, I'm about to go in.
Ooh.
Okay. It's 4 something in the morning going on 5. She's in the house. It's so dark, I didn't even get to see which raggedy ass apartment they walked to. So a nigga, I guess one of their friends walk outside and say, hey, why you sitting outside in the car? And I said, go in the house and get the keys so I can go to my car, or tell her to come on. If you don't, I'm gonna blow this horn until somebody comes outside.
Ooh.
He was like, I'm not gonna tell you where the apartment is at because I don't want you going up there making the spot hot, like all this ghetto ass Atlanta talk. I could barely understand what he's saying, words slurring. He looked like he geeked up, just like, what?
I'm geeked up. Hey, geeked up. I'm starting to see spaceships on Bankhead. I roll with the gangsters. Oh.
Who is this that you sent out here to the car to talk to me? The fuck? So I started laying on the horn. Remind you, in the midst of this, I'm calling her phone. I'm texting her. Of course, the phone is on do not disturb. God forbid the phone rings or a text come through. Head getting knocked between the washing machine and the dryer. So the phone was going to voicemail. She finally bring her scrawny ass outside like, oh, we don't play that police ass shit. You know what he got going on. You know he got warrants. You know what's going on. He's in there going off on me. I said, good, you brought your motherfucking ass outside, right? Now take me back to my motherfucker.
Oh, shit, she about to get her ass. She about to get her friend ass beat.
The car so I can drive back to Charlotte. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I drove back to Charlotte at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's how fucking livid I was that this bitch was this dicked out. Like, bitch, you don't even think for yourself. You sitting here telling me that this nigga's mad. Like, you didn't just leave me in a car till 5 something in the morning to go get cracked when y'all live in the same city. You could have did this shit on any other given day.
She was trying to get cracked in Atlantic City or whatever was it? What she said? 4 Seasons? God damn.
Bitch, I knew you was dizzy, but I didn't know you was that dizzy. You could never sit with me. I would never fuck with that bitch again. I see a lot of y'all asking me why didn't I get an Uber or why didn't I get a Lyft. I'm about to explain to y'all.